In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous napkin ring holders using your embroidery machine and metallic thread. Hi, I'm Jamieson-Hirst of Chatterbox Quilts, and it's really easy to make these. They make perfect gifts. They look lovely on the holiday table. So let's get started. So let's talk about what we're going to need to make these napkin rings. Well, a few things. Something I know you'll have in your house, toilet paper rolls. So these are toilet paper rolls. Some are different sizes, different lengths, as you can see. Or you might even want to use a paper towel roll and cut it in half. So that's going to be your base. Then you need some fabric to cover it. So I like to use felt. I find it works really well. Today I'm using this beautiful green felt, and I love this felt. It's nice and thick, really good quality. And if you're wondering where I got it, check up above and in the description below, because I'll put a link to it. We are going to be stitching with metallic thread today, right? So I've got a selection of metallic threads here. Whatever color you find that you want to use, what works best on your felt. In my case, I'm going to be using a gold today because it's going to show up really nicely on that green felt, right? And when I'm using those metallic threads, I like to use either a metallic needle. In this case, I'm using a Janome machine. I'm using the Janome 500E. So I'm using a Janome top stitch needle. That works well too, in the 90-14 size. You're also going to want to add some trim, I'm sure, to your napkin ring. So you might consider things like rickrack. I've got some kind of regular size, some baby rickrack. You might even want to use some ribbon. And we'll see what I decide to use once I get that finished, once it's stitched out. I also need a few regular things. Glue, you can either use like Aleene's Tacky glue or Elmer's glue, or even a glue stick. And then your scissors or a rotary cutter and ruler. Pinking shears for sure. We're going to use some pinking shears to give some extra interest to our napkin ring. And, well, you know, we're going to have to hoop up our fabric and stabilizer to actually stitch out that beautiful initial and design around it. So I've got the small hoop here for the Janome 500E. And so my next thing to do is to actually take my stabilizer and felt and hoop it up. So I have already cut felt and stabilizer, and this is actually bigger than what I'm going to need for my base, okay, my toilet paper roll. So you can see that I've got a lot of extra space there. I need to just wrap it around and overlap it slightly, and I only need a little bit of maybe ½ an inch on either side. So I've got more than enough fabric here. We'll be trimming it down after the embroidery is done. But I want to take this, put it together, and then of course I'm going to put it into my hoop, and I want to try and center this all in my hoop so that my design is going to be in the center of this fabric. All right, so I'm going to hoop this up, then I'm going to have you meet me at the machine and show you what I'm stitching out and how it's going to go. So here is my embroidery design. It turned out really well. So I've got an initial in the center surrounded by these little kind of star things with all metallic thread. I think it looks great. So now, of course, I need to take it out of the hoop. So I'm going to do that. And remember I was saying that this is going to be bigger than what I need for the napkin rings. We're going to need to do some trimming first. Let's get this out first. All right, pop that out. And we'll put my hoop out of the way for now. All right, so here is what we have. Okay, so I need to do some trimming, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the base background, not background fabric, but background toilet paper roll that I'm going to be using, and I want to center this design on here. I want to cut on either side. So I'm kind of just taking a look and seeing, you know, how that works. Okay, it looks about right. But even to make it a little easier is we could measure the toilet paper roll, and this one's 4 inches. If I was using this one, let's use this one, it's a little bit bigger. This one's 4.5 inches, okay? So 4.5 inches, and I want to make sure I've got at least an extra 1/2 inch on either side, so that makes it 5.5 inches. Okay, what's half of 5.5? Oh, I have to do quilt math now. So we want to center the 2 3/4 mark. I think that's right? 5.5 times divided by 2. I think that's... Let's find out. What's half of 5.5?
It's 2.75.
Thank God I have an Apple Watch. 2.75. So we're going to take the 2.75, 2 3/4. We're going to center that. That looks about right. And I'm just going to mark here, there. Okay, and now I need to do it on the other side as well. So we'll just take the 5.5 up there and mark on the other side and see what that looks like, okay? Just using a soap sliver here. Works so well in these dark fabrics. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think that looks good. So now I'm going to use my ruler. I'm just going to line this up here. And I'm kind of trying to keep everything as straight looking as I can. Okay, I'm going to cut off that excess there. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and we know that this should be, I can line this up at the 5.5 down here. That should be okay. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect-ish, that's looking okay. All right, so I've got that there. Now I need to do something here, right? I need to do something there. Yes, but before I do something there, while we still got everything here, let's pink the edges. And let's just double check and make sure everything's looking okay. Yep, that's looking okay. Make sure I've still got extra fabric that's going to go over the edge. And I'm just going to pink along the edges here. So I'm just going to run my pinking shears right up along the edge there and just pink as I can here. There we go. Trying not to take off too much of that felt. All right, so there's one side done. I'm not so worried up here because I'm going to be cutting that off, I know, eventually. And I can probably actually take some of this stabilizer off. I don't have to take it all off, but it's a tearaway, so why not tear it away at this point in time? We don't really need it. Okay, I'm not fussing with what's in the center because of the project I'm making. I don't really have to worry too much about it. And we'll go up the other side. And just pink. All right, something like that. Okay, so now we have this, okay? So the next thing we need to do is we need to trim off. We've got way too much fabric going on here. We don't need all that. So I'm going to line this up here, making sure that's covered, so that's going to be centered. I'm going to bring this up to approximately the center. I'm just going to cut this, okay? So I can just cut that about there. Not much to line up here when you have pinked edges, makes it a little tough. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So put that in there again. Trying to center it this way. And we're going to just overlap that. I put that on like that. Okay, and then we need to bring up the other side. And again, I've still got more overlap than I want. should overlap maybe 1/2 inch, something like that. So I am now going to just give that a little bit of a press there so I can see roughly where I need to trim it. Okay, and kind of line that up and trim this off. All right. Yes, I know we have all these little bits of pink fabric and everything happening, right? So there we go. So now what I want to do is I want to glue it down. So I'm going to take this here. I will bring that side up and glue it and bring this side up too. So you need to make sure that your toilet paper roll is roughly centered. You want to try and make sure that this is fairly straight along here. And you can check by checking your pinked edges there when you put them over, okay? So it's going to look something like that. But before I do that, I might want to add, because there's not enough bling here, I might want to add some additional trim. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but let's just audition a few just for fun, right? Okay, so you could have, this. Do I have enough of this? Ooh, just barely, probably enough to do that on both sides, let's say. You could do something like that. It'd be kind of fun. I kind of like that because it's got the gold in it. Or I also have some gold rickrack. Let me just release it. So I could put some gold rickrack on if I wanted to, or, maybe red on the other side, or maybe I just want to leave it like it is. I always overthink things, right? So let's not overthink it. Let's just go with what's on here because it looks really nice with that metallic, right? Okay, so if I got it like that, I keep checking, right? I'm always double checking. And what I'm checking and looking for is my glue. All right, so I've got some Aleene's Tacky glue here. Just going to put some of this on. Run that along here, run some along here. Remember, the edges are going to be free, so we're just kind of going to do this. I meant these edges. Okay, they overhang a bit is what I meant. So there's no point in trying to put glue on them, right? So let's bring this up here. Let's bring this up here. See how that's looking. That's looking pretty good. So we'll probably just run another extra line right at the edge there. And if you wanted to, you could use like the glue stick. You could use a hot glue gun, works well for this as well. So now we've got that all down there. Let's make sure that's sticking there. Take a little bit of time to dry. But then you've got this gorgeous napkin ring, and these make great gifts because you can personalize them with, the recipient's initial in the center. You can do different designs if you want, but they look really pretty for the holiday season with that metallic thread, I gotta say. Now, if you're wondering what other gifts are perfect for the holiday season and gift giving, don't worry, I got you covered. Check out this video that has all the information you need. And for more helpful quilting information, be sure to go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.